Good morning, everyone. Hi, this is Beth Wright, and I'm coming to you live from upstate New York. It's a beautiful day here. It's going to be up in the 80s, I believe. And I want to focus today on healing the heart. So let's go ahead and begin. You're seated in your easy pose. Bring your palms to your heart. And actually, before we even chant Om, let's just place our hands over our heart and take a nice deep breath into your body through your nose. With your eyes closed, just feel your heart underneath your hands. Tune into it. And ask your heart what it needs from you today. And then go ahead and bring your palms together in prayer position. And now let's open the class with one Om, breathing in together. And connect with your higher self and your I am presence. And now visualize a bright, bright, bright white light coming down from source and showering over you, over your entire energy field of body. And it's also washing right through you into every cell and chakra. And as this white light moves down around you in a spiral, it's clearing and cleansing your energy field and body of any heaviness, any darkness, or any stuck or negative energy. Just allow that white light to flow down all around you. See how bright it is. And then it washes right down into the earth. And Mother Earth transmutes that light, Mother Earth transmutes that energy into positive healing energy for all beings on the planet. And now go ahead and set your intention for your day and your practice this morning. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And let's bring our hands to our knees. Just work with our neck a little bit. So draw your shoulders up to your ears. Pull your shoulders back, down, and forward. Inhale up, back, down, and forward with the breath. A few more times. Giant circles going back. One more time. Good. And then drop your chin down to your chest. Interlace your hands behind your back and press your hands away from you as you draw your chin down to the chest. Deep breaths into the belly. And now release your hands, bring your head back up to center, and draw your shoulders up to your ears. Hold them forward, down, back, and up. With the breath, giant circles going forward. Good. And your hands back to your knees. And now drop your right ear down to your right shoulder. And then bring your left fingertips out to touch on the mat. And you'll feel the stretch all the way down the sideline of your left side of your neck and shoulder and arm. Breathe into it. And now come back to center. Bring your left hand back to your knee and drop your left ear down toward your left shoulder and reach the right fingertips out to touch. Your arm is straight here and you're just breathing in nice, deep opening breaths into the side of your neck. Good. And slowly bring your head back up to center. And now let's take our shoulders up, squeeze them up. Inhale. Hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth, big release. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Hold the breath. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale the shoulders up. Hold the breath. And then exhale, release. Good. And now just shake your shoulders out. And let's go ahead and roll out over our ankles and come onto all fours. So we're coming into tabletop. We spread our fingers wide. And then your knees are underneath your hips. And now drop the belly. Draw the tailbone up. Turn your gaze up. Deep breath in. At the top of the breath, exhale. Press the heart up, up, up. Chin to the chest and the tailbone touch. And now find your flow here. Back and forth with your breath. Good. Come to a neutral spine and come down onto your forearms. And you want to keep your forearms straight ahead with your middle finger directly pointing forward. Make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And now tuck your toes and we're going to press up and walk the feet a little bit forward. And you're doing a balance here over your shoulders. Nice and gentle. Obviously, if you have any shoulder injuries or pain, you're not going to be doing this pose. And holding it here for a couple of breaths. Good. And now drop down onto your knees. Bring your feet and knees together and sit all the way back onto your heels. And now bring your hands down by your feet and you're on your forehead here. Forehead connected to the mat. Reach your arms out long on the mat, and then come all the way sliding onto your belly. Bringing your chin down to the mat, bring your arms down alongside you, palms facing down, and let's lift the right leg up. Hip bone is on the mat and the leg is straight. Reach through the foot as you breathe, relaxing the upper body. Two more breaths. Good. Lower that right leg down. Bring your left arm out to the side, palm facing down, and then turn your left cheek onto the mat. And now bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder, bend through the right knee, and roll open so that we're opening and stretching into the front of the left shoulder. Your right foot steps behind you. Now you can also reach your right arm back here and breathe right into the shoulder area. Relax the head, relax your neck. Good. Roll back slowly onto your belly, supporting yourself with your right hand. And then your chin comes back to the mat, arms down alongside the body. And now we lift the left leg up just a little bit. Hip bone stays down. Reach through the foot. Hold the leg as you breathe, relaxing the head and neck, shoulder area. Good. Lower that left leg down. And then bring your right arm out to the side, palm facing down. And your left hand is underneath your left shoulder. Your right side of your face is on the mat. Bend through the left knee and then roll back so that your left foot steps back. And you can stay here supporting yourself with your left hand down. Or you can reach your whole left arm back. And then just relax your head and shoulder, head and neck, and breathe right into that right shoulder. Good. And now slowly roll back onto the belly. So put your hand down underneath your left shoulder or out a little bit. And you're going to roll right back onto the belly. Good. And now hands and arms come down alongside your body again. Legs are straight. Now go ahead and lift everything up off the mat. Legs, shoulders, chest, arms. Breathe. Good. And now make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to one side. And let's just rock out the hips. Okay. And we're coming into Yarasana. So bend through both knees, grabbing onto both feet and both ankles with your hands. And we're going to lift everything up. Don't let the knees splay out too wide. And here, press your ankles or your feet into your hands, away from your hands, so that you're getting that nice lift in the body. Deep breath right into your back, right into the sacrum. Good. Release down and make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to the other side and rock those hips out. And then bring your hands underneath you, tuck your toes, and take it up into Cobra Pose. Chest comes forward. Your hands are planted and your elbows are bent. So your whole pelvis is on the floor. Point your toes and draw the heart forward. This is a heart opener. Cobra is a heart opener. Breathe. You're also having a nice squeeze in your kidneys here, which is going to help detoxify and tone the kidneys. Good. Lower back down and make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to the other side. Just rock those hips out. Deep breath. And then bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under and let's take it up and back into downward dog. So tuck your toes under and begin to pedal through your feet. One heel reaching down and then the other. And now take your feet the width of the mat. So the outside pinkies are connecting with the outside edge of the mat, or the edge of the mat. And now go ahead and pedal through your feet. But here you'll notice you can get those heels down more easily because you've got some width in between your feet. Breathe as you press away from your hands and drop your heels down. And let's just hold downward dog for a moment as we breathe. Good. Roll up onto your tippy toes and then press away from the hands. So reach those hips high as you're on your tippy toes. Good. Drop your heels back down. Drop onto your knees. And then bring your toes together. Take your knees the width of your mat and sit back into child's pose. Forehead comes down. Good. Lift your head and come back into table pose. And now let's come up onto our knees. Make sure your knees are hip width apart here. And we're going to just do a half camel. So tuck your toes under. Now you can also have a block here. And bring your block next to your left foot. And place your left hand on top of the block And then raise your right arm up. Lift in the heart. Good, and then release. And now bring your block over beside the right foot or right ankle. Okay? If the block is on high side, place your hand onto the block and then raise the left arm up and lift through your heart. Breathe. Good. Lower that left arm down. And now move your block aside. Come back into table. And let's do a couple more cat-cows. So release your toes, so your toes are flat on the mat. And inhale, looking up, tailbone up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more times. Inhaling. Exhale. Tuck the toes under. Let's take it up and back into downward dog. And now we're going to come into three-legged dog. So raise the right leg up all the way, stacking the hips, opening that right hip. And then bend your right knee and rotate your right foot in a circle. Sinking the left heel down. Good. Straighten through the right leg. We're going to do some core exercises here. So we're lengthening out into plank as we bring our right elbow to the right knee. Right knee to the right elbow. Leg comes up and back into three-legged dog, and then knee to elbow. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale up. Exhale. A few more times. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to elbow. Up. Elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to elbow. And now bring the knee to the center and go ahead and drop it down for Pigeon Pose. Okay, Pigeon Pose. Here you can use a block underneath your hip and just support the hip so that you are facing forward and your hips and shoulders are square to the front of the mat. Now you can press into the top of the back foot and then lift the knee and let the left leg slide backwards. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and squeeze in through the Mula Bandha. Squeeze right up through the root lock, and you're squeezing up through your perineum, your anus, and your sex organs, and you're pulling that energy up into your body as you lift your heart. Your shoulders, your hands are still underneath your shoulders supporting the pose. Turn your gaze slightly upward, squeezing up through that Mula Bandha, and find that lift in your heart. Feel your heart, the light of your heart, connecting with the light of Source. So you can even say it as an affirmation. I am connecting my heart with Source. I am connecting the light in my heart with the light of Source. You can just visualize a beam of light coming right from your heart, right up to the great central sun. Good. All right, so here we are in pigeon. We're going to come into resting pigeon. So you can walk this left foot up, and then once you do that, walk your hands out over your, or up on the mat, and you're going to come out over the right leg, forehead down. You might be up on your forearms, wherever you are. Just breathe into the right hip. See if you can relax where you're feeling that tension in the right hip. See if you can just relax into it. Good. Now bring your hands underneath you and press up. Swing that right leg forward on the mat. And we're coming into Yoshishasana. So our left leg is straight in front of us, and our right leg is out to the side with the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, lift the heart. Keep your left foot flexed as you lengthen your entire torso out over the left leg. And now you can place your hands anywhere they land and draw your head down towards your knee. Breathe right into the low back. Good, and then come all the way back up. And now we're coming into Stargazer, so plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. And we're going to sweep up into this nice expansive pose. Right knee, right arm supporting you, and your left arm reaches way back. Deep breath. And release it down. Good. Bring that cross at the ankles. And then we're going to lean forward, come back into table, and do a couple more cat-cows here. Spine is nice and warmed up at this point. Good. Okay. Plant your hands and fingers and tuck the toes. Take it up and back. Downward dog. And let's see if we can get those heels down. A slight pulsation with the heart toward the toes. And now lift this left leg high. Stack the hips, bend through the left knee,
and rotate the left foot in a circle as you draw the right heel down. Deep breaths. And then straighten through the left leg. And now we're going to do those core exercises. So lean, roll it forward into plank as you take the left knee to the left elbow. And up and back, inhaling. Exhale. Again. This is the fifth one. Up and back. 6, 7. Last one. 8. And now plant that left knee in between both hands. We're doing pigeon on the other side. So bring your block underneath, right underneath your left sits bone to support you, or you can have a pillow or blanket, whatever is working for you. Okay? I happen to be super flexible, so I don't use anything. And press onto the top of the back foot and draw that knee back. All right. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Hips and shoulders are squared to the front. And now go ahead and squeeze up through the Mula Bandha, the root lock. Squeeze it together and then pull up. As you do this, lift the heart. Imagine that beam of light coming right out of the heart and connecting to source. Deep breaths as you draw this energy into your high heart. Good. And now let's go ahead and walk this left foot up a little bit on the mat. Or it can stay right in by your groin, whatever works for you. And then we're going to come into resting pigeon. So walk your hands out and you're coming over the left leg, forehead comes down, or you're on your elbows. Take the breath right into the hip, anywhere you feel resistance in the body. Good. Let's slowly lift our head, bring our hands underneath us to press up. And then we're going to swing this right leg all the way in front. For Yoshishasana on the other side. And bring this left foot to the inside of the right thigh, flexing through the right foot. Sit up nice and tall. Just feel as if you're moving from your heart. So lift the heart, and then as you exhale, bring your whole torso out over your right leg. And your hands can be here on your ankles or shins or on either side of the leg on the mat. And you're drawing your head down toward your knee. Deep breath. Good. Go ahead and come up slowly. And then let's plant this left hand down underneath the left shoulder. For Stargazer, sweep that right arm up and back, balancing on this left arm and left knee. And your right leg extends. And then your heart lifts towards the sky. Deep breath. And then release down onto your seat. And let's bring both legs out in front and shake out those legs. Shake the legs out. And here you can place a block or a rolled up towel or blanket underneath your knees. And we're just going to do a seated forward fold, sitting up nice and tall. Lift with your heart. And let's extend out over the legs. Good. Head comes all the way down. Take a couple of breaths here. And now let's come up again. Not all the way, just about halfway up. And lift right from this part, your lower belly. Lift and extend a little bit further out over the legs. And then come back down. Good. Coming all the way back up. Remove the block or towel underneath your legs. And let's scooch forward on the mat. Okay. Let's do a little bit more core work before we go back into our shoulder stand. So we're going to do boat pose, which is raising the shins parallel to the earth. And now your shoulders are lifted, your chest is lifted. It's a lot of core work. Bring your arms also parallel to the floor. And then let's just breathe here. Good. Plant your feet. And now we're going to take it all the way up into shoulder stand. So let's roll back. Legs come up and your hands come underneath your hips. And now with your hands underneath your hips, go ahead and get your shoulders underneath. And then raise the legs up. Deep breaths. The modified version of this is legs up the wall, where you're seated or you're lying on your back and your seat is right against the wall and you just have your legs up the wall and you can have a support underneath your back, your low back. Good. And now we're coming into Plow Pose. So drop your legs over and bring your toes to touch the earth. Your hands can stay supporting your hips, or you can interlace your fingers And straighten your arms. And then press into those arms. And that'll help your hips lift. It's really hard to teach from this angle. Good. Hands support the hips. Bring your legs back up. And now let's bend the knees, drop them toward your forehead, and remove your shoulders out from underneath and slowly roll all the way down onto your back. All right, the body liked that one. Woo. Feet are long on the mat. Toes pointed. Bring your hands halfway underneath your seat on either side and bring your legs together. And now go ahead and press into the elbows, lift through the heart. Lift up and drop the head back. And you're coming slightly onto your crown, except for my ponytail's in the way. So keep lifting in the heart here and pointing the toes. Press into your sits bones and your elbows. And breathe. Good. Lift the heart. Release all the way down onto your back. Turn your palms to face up. And now just rock your head slowly from side to side. And that's Matsuyasana, fish pose. Good. Let's hug our knees into our chest. And we're just going to rock a little bit side to side. And now coming into bridge pose, plant those feet. Feet come underneath your knees. Arms down alongside your body, palms facing down. Now lift the hips and bring your shoulders underneath you. Interlace your hands and then press up, drawing your sternum toward your chest. Squeeze the Mula Bandha. Deep breaths. And then release slowly all the way down onto your back. Hug the knees in again, rock side to side. And let's rock forward and back along the spine. Coming all the way up to seated position. Bring both legs out in front. Shake your legs out. Oh man, this feels good. All right, let's take our left foot back by the left hip. And here, make sure the left knee is pointing directly forward.
And you're going to slowly come back onto your forearms. And we're getting that nice deep stretch into the front of the left thigh. If you are able to and have any desire, go ahead and come all the way down onto your back. Be careful here. You don't want to hurt your knee in any way. Deep breaths. And we're going to slowly come up, pressing all the way up. And now let's take this left leg across the body, planting the foot on the other side of this right leg. Okay? Right foot is flexed, sit up nice and tall, and take the elbow, right elbow to the inside of the left knee and twist to your left. Your palm is planted behind you. Breathe, both sits bones are down. Come back to center and release that leg out in front. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So bring this with your legs out in front. Bring the right foot back by your right hip. Top of the foot is on the mat. And you can come back. Now, one side may be different than the other. In my case, I blew out my ACL of my right knee years ago. And I have to sort of baby her. So this is enough for me on this side. Deep breaths into that front thigh there. Good, coming all the way back up, nice and slow. And then we're gonna bring that right foot over the left leg, planting it above or below the knee. Sit up nice and tall, flexing the left foot. And then twist to your right, right hand comes behind you. Now you can either just hold this knee like this, or bring that left elbow to the inside of the right knee and twist. Remember, in any twist, you always want to lengthen through the spine, so draw up through the top of the crown. Come back to center, and then let's take those legs wide. You can turn sideways on the mat here if you'd like. Legs are wide. Sitting up on your sits bones. And then bring your hands in front, and we're just going to walk those hands out and come down, far down as you can come. You might be up on your elbows like so. You can come down further, go ahead. Take your breath right into the groin. Owie, I got a really tight spot right here. So that may happen if you've like, wow, I can't get past this point, or this is pulling on me. You can always massage that area. Come all the way back up. And now bring the legs back together. Plant the feet. I'm going to come down for final Shavasana. So arms are out. And let's slowly roll down onto the mat. Nice and slow. All the way down. And go ahead and bring your legs out wide, wider than the mat. Arms out wide, palms facing up. Making any last little movements you need to make before you come into your Shavasana. In total silence here. But before we do, take your awareness into your heart space. Right into your heart. And I want you just to sit with your heart in this final Shavasana and pour your appreciation into your own heart, into yourself. Tell yourself, all of yourself, how much you love and appreciate every part of you. And go ahead now and begin. And now soften your heart a little bit more. And go ahead and place both hands over your heart once again. Feeling the love and appreciation that you have for all of you, every part of you. Unconditional love. Take a nice deep breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and rotate your hands and wrists and your feet and ankles in a circle. And then bend through both knees and roll onto one side. And press all the way up into a seated position where we began. Bring your palms to your heart. Let's chant the sound of Om together. Inhaling. I bow to the beautiful, magnificent, and divine light inside of you that is also inside of me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. This is Beth Wright, and I'm glad that you joined today. And you can find me on Spirit Works Beth Wright on Facebook. And my website has recently been redone, and I'll be adding my energy healing course soon to it. But go check it out. It's energyhealingteacher.com. And I've got a meditation up there for free and a link to my YouTube channel, which, oh yes, my YouTube channel is called Beth Wright, Creating Heaven on Earth. So that's what this is all about. I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. There you have access to 30 yoga classes, and you'll find those under my playlists on Beth Wright, Creating Heaven on Earth. And I also have 12 guided meditations. All of these were done on Enlightened World Network. So you can find those under my playlist on my YouTube channel, Beth Wright, Creating Heaven on Earth. Thank you so much and have a glorious day.